one more surgery that I think 1,000% people are going to regret in the future.
Getting rid of your BBLs, getting rid of the breast implants.
Also, you're injecting something into your body.
Don't buy peptides from like the
Randomly.
black market.
What could go wrong?
When it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true.
Yeah.
Peptides are also very dangerous if done in the wrong way.
What happens to filler? Because apparently it doesn't dissolve.
Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Coffee Club, the coffee date you don't cancel.
On today's podcast, we are joined by the ultimate beauty and brains. She's a cosmetic scientist who knows exactly what's going into your skincare, what actually works, and what's just clever marketing. Get ready for the glow-up secrets, beauty myths exposed, and insider tea. Welcome to the podcast, our babe, Maes.
Woo!
I'm so excited to have you on.
I'm so excited to be here.
We wanted you on the podcast.
From the beginning.
From the beginning. Guys, by the way, wardrobe malfunction. If you see me, if you're watching this rather than just listening, the blazer's just not covering up as much as it should. It's not very Middle Eastern appropriate right now. So if you see me holding my blazer, I'm so sorry.
Mind your business.
Mind your business, okay? We're not here to look at me today. We are here to look at Maes.
Our gorgeous, like, friend, and just, I love learning from you. And I can't wait for everyone else to learn from you as well. So
We're really excited to have you. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited. I'm a big fan of the podcast, so I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, stop.
I'm going to cry. My eyes are red already. Okay, you work in one of the most fascinating industries. The beauty industry is ever changing, and standards are changing faster than ever. So what is something right now that people are obsessed with that would shock us?
Ooh, shock. You know what? I think it's been such an incredible change from, like, I think we all grew up with, you know, the overfilled lips, the Botox, the Texas jaw, etc. And I think nowadays it's all changing to everyone's removing everything. And I think the new generation is so much into health. You know, I think peptides is such a big thing that is people are talking about peptides and skin boosters and, you know, staying active and being healthy. And I think it's such a refreshing change for not just looking good and looking like this filter, because you won't believe so many people come either a filter version of themselves or a celebrity that doesn't look 1% like them. They're like, make me look like this, you know? Our mom's generation, like Hey4Weppy generation, people used to go to the doctors and say, make me look like a cat. But seriously, so it's like, it's so nice to see the evolvement from the cat to the filter to now the best version of myself, you know? It's how do I, you know, take care of my inside as well as outside. And I think that's such a nice change.
Amazing. You know, I actually wrote a question and then I removed it, but I feel like I'm just going to ask it anyways. What is like a celebrity that people often come in with that face and say, make me look like that?
Come on, you know, the Kardashians.
Is this, I
Always.
knew it.
People still asking.
I was just gonna say, really?
Yeah, but it moved from Kim Kardashian to Kylie, so it's the generation that keeps, you know.
Wow.
But not anymore, I will say. Now it's not as prominent as before.
There was actually an Elle
Looking
article
human is in
recently
again.
called Looking Human is in again. And it's basically the concept and the idea of the great undoing, like dissolving the fillers, getting rid of your BBLs, getting rid of the breast implants. And do you see this shift happening in real life?
100%. 1,000%. You know, now people come, they're like, if they do filler and Botox and all of that, they're like, make it look like I don't have anything, you know, which is amazing. It's so nice. People remove a lot. I think it's two things that I think people have noticed that over time, if you overfill any area, there is consequences to that, because it may look good. Like, for example, jaw filler, it may look amazing for like the first 2 weeks, etc. But after time, if you're not the right candidate, and many people don't know this, then you just start looking like a square, you know?
I have a question. I don't think anyone's ever actually answered this for me, but what happens to filler? Because apparently it doesn't dissolve.
Not all of it, yeah.
Does it migrate?
It migrates. This is why it's so important to also go to the right injector, because, you know, I think we've all, you know, especially being in Dubai, you can get filler for like 100 dirham to
You buy one, get one free.
It's
Go with
crazy.
your bestie.
You know, when I first moved here, I'll never forget. I moved here and one of my friends was like, oh, we're going to this lady, we're going to get our lips done, da-da-da. And I was like, yeah, I'm so excited because I usually always go to London because for me it's so important to go to someone who gets my vision, right? And I went with her and we were in this woman's apartment. I was like,
Girl, been
what?
there, done that.
And then,
with this one
and
sitting next to me.
No, wait for it. And the craziest part was, so as we walked into the apartment, I'm like thinking, okay, maybe it's going to be a clinic, in the apartment. I go in and the actual, so someone opens the door, there's a woman literally on the sofa getting threads, and she's screaming. I've never heard a woman scream like this. She's like, ah! And I was just like, okay, do you know what? You do you. I'm leaving.
It's a horror film.
It was
but
literally like a horror
sounds very
film.
Nadia
And she was like
coded.
fully like getting threads, and blood was gushing out of her face. Yeah.
No, in an
And
apartment.
in like this, in this kind of setting, and you just walk in like, oh, okay, I'll wait till you're done.
Yeah, you enjoy your treatments, girl.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is actually crazy because I have done that. Not the threads, not the threads, but I have done those experiences. But it's so true when something it's sad because if something ends up going wrong,
Which it does a lot by the time.
exactly,
A lot of times.
Even to me, remember like what happened to my
Oh my
neck?
gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
We spoke about
I told
that
you about
because
my neck.
you
Yes,
had like
yeah.
bumps on your neck
Yeah.
from an inject.
And they're
injector.
still there.
And salmon
Look.
DNA, it was like
I
nothing.
actually can see.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
when I went to your clinic, actually, like Juliana came to me and told me like what happened to your neck, and I was like, I almost forgot that it's still there, and I'm glad that she mentioned it because like I had to think about, okay, what's the next step that I'm going to do to take it off, but it's been there for a year.
I will say that the rules and regulations are getting so strict now, so it is so much harder
Good.
to do this now.
Good.
Well, in
Good.
this region.
In this
Because in
region.
the UK, I'm sure it's not as strict, right?
Oof, in the UK, so
You just have to do a course, right?
yes. So in the UK, anyone who has a pharmacist degree, a nurse degree, no degree, even just a course, I think they're getting stricter on that now. But a dentist, everyone can be an injector, whereas in the UAE, it's only someone who's studied medicine.
That's so important.
Yes.
Because literally
So-
people go online, buy a course in the UK and
Yeah.
then start injecting people.
Yeah,
and I've seen such like horror cases where people have went and got lip filler and the person's injected into like a vein or something.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's
and like
the
the
worst.
circulation cuts off in the lip
Necrosis.
and they've had to go, you can lose your lips.
It's necrosis.
Oh, is
yeah,
that what it's
so
called?
Yes.
scary. Yeah.
It's literally it's your lip dying, pretty
Yeah, you
much.
killed-
It is terrible, and that is another ball game of scary things that can happen.
Well, I've seen a lot of filler mishaps.
That's really sad, honestly. Like, it can happen to anyone. And even, like, a doctor could... you know what I mean?
You can
So
make a
imagine
mistake.
if a doctor could make a mistake. Imagine, like, a regular person just, like, being a practitioner, you know?
Yes, they call this like the Bermuda Triangle because it's like the most sensitive area. It's like the nose, which you'll have doctors who've practiced for 20 plus years. They'll never inject the nose, because it's so dangerous. There was a super famous case in the US. He was a trainer. Imagine he was training thousands of doctors, and he actually was doing teardrop filler, and then the model who was doing the filler, she got blinded on the spot. Yes, this is like, it's such a, and this can happen to someone who's a trainer.
From filler?
Yes, from
'Cause he
filler.
injected the wrong
Of course.
place?
And the nose is even more sensitive. So my sister actually just did her nose filler, and I honestly tell her, I've never screamed at her as much as I did when she did this. I was like, can you imagine if you got blind from something so...
Because
So
honestly, in the UK, people get nose filler like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anyone does it. And I'm telling you, so even at our clinic, so they have years and years, they will not do it. And they can do it. It's just,
Yeah.
they're like, it's not worth the risk.
But it's great that there are, like, clinics or, like, doctors that refuse to do it because if they're doing it, that's how you know it is such a dangerous area to inject.
absolutely.
I have so many friends who have done nose filler, like, unbelievable amount of nose.
It's really
friends.
popular.
And that's why I got my nose done, because initially, I could have done filler,
So
but
you never tried nose filler?
no, I never did. And actually, some doctors told me that the issue I wanted to fix could not be fixed with nose filler anyway. So I was like, I guess I need a nose job.
Guess I need to go under the knife.
But it's good. It's permanent. It's forever. You do it one time and it looks amazing, and that's it. You're done.
Thank you. I love you. You've seen so many transformations firsthand. What's one treatment people secretly do all the time but never admit to?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I really want to know the answer to
Yeah,
this.
me too.
I'm going to book in.
Think about it, because like even I'm like, what could it be?
I mean, I don't know. There's so many. And I think, this is the thing. People in Dubai, like in the UK, nobody talks about the treatments they do. They're like, oh, I woke up like this.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I feel like people in Dubai, they show off, So at Esther Medical Group, like the clinic that I work at, it's the most expensive hair transplant in the world. And usually people hide that they've done hair transplant. Whereas I've noticed in Dubai with our clinic, they want to show off that they've done this in Estee with Dubai. I've paid a fortune for this. You know, it's almost like people. People here, they flex that they've had treatments done.
Well, of course, because they want everyone to know. This is how much I paid.
They want to show.
They
want to show off. They did, or whatever they're on. But I think one big thing that it's not that people wouldn't say that they're doing, but I do see huge transformations. Is the longevity stuff that people are on right now, such as peptides. I think that's such a huge thing because it's really, you see long-term results and it's changing your DNA.
You know, I've still never... Have you tried peptides?
I haven't, but maybe you could tell us more about it.
I'd love to.
You
it's
are
life-changing.
just a genius.
So honestly, peptides basically just send signals to our body that basically fix anything. There's peptides for every single thing you can think of. Skin, hair, nails, focus, anything, anti-aging, inflammation, by the way, it's a huge thing that people don't talk about, because inflammation is the cause for all diseases, cancers, aging. If you can cure inflammation in your body, because imagine all the bullshit that we're exposed to every single day, from our phones to food to the environment that we live in. We just talked about Dubai pollution. That our body is literally always in fight mode. It's always fighting against all the BS that we're putting it through. So if you have something that can help, and that causes inflammation. So if we can have something that cures inflammation, oh my God, I think we would live 1,000 years, and it will really show on the outside.
I don't think I told you this, but I did a treatment at Estee. I did the DNA testing where you actually, they prick you and they send your blood to a lab and they give you this extensive report about your DNA, essentially. So you can explain it better, but what I learned from it was that what are some things in your genes that you might have never known that you had, or certain parts of your body. I'm prone to inflammation, which is why that was a big But if you can explain it better.
Absolutely. So I think the test that you did, everyone needs to do this.
I agree.
Basically, it's the way your genetics are made out. So, and this is why, you can take all the supplements you want, but if you don't know what is right for you, it's basically just all going in the garbage, So it shows you, number one, what your deficiencies are naturally, what you need to take care of, what you always have to because your body doesn't produce it, you need to take it. It shows you what diseases you're prone to, which is also very, very important.
Yes.
It goes into nutrition, which, maybe eating something like tomatoes might be good for you, might be terrible for me. It's not just because it's healthy, but because it's not right for our bodies, all the intolerances it tells you. So it's such an important test because you just understand yourself and then how you can take care of yourself
better.
Yes.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah, there were some things that I didn't know were my intolerances because but I just always knew that something in my body felt off and Maes was please do this test, it'll change your life. And honestly, it really did. And it's crazy because when I eat certain things, I'm oh my gosh, that makes sense. That's why I feel like shit after eating
So
that
does this test give you a list of things that you should avoid or foods that are triggers?
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Foods, nutrients, everything.
Yeah.
Supplements you need to take. It even tells you about how you're going to be during your pregnancy, what you need to... It's insane. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's such a good test.
I've never heard about something like this.
Yeah, it goes into your genes, genuinely. It's I agree with you. Everyone has to do this
Everyone
test.
has to do this.
Do you know what I've heard about? There's a machine, I think it's in London, must be in other places too, but you go in there and it tells you everything that's wrong with you.
Yes, it's the full scan. Yes.
Have you heard about this?
No.
Yes.
It's revolutionary.
Yes.
Please get it in the clinic.
We do need this. I forgot the name of it, but it's a machine. You go in, they do full body scan, full body testing, blood works, etc. I think there's a two-year wait to get on
the
this
wait list is crazy.
Yes, it's insane. And they only have 2 in the world. There's one in London, one in LA. And basically it tells you everything. It tells you everything about yourself.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's so important to just take care of ourselves from the inside, honestly. By the way, the Glow Peptide is a game changer for anyone.
I need to try these peptides,
This peptide
honestly.
so it has GHKCU, which is amazing for skin, hair, and nails. And then it also gives you the best glow for your skin, changes the way your collagen is produced in your body. This is the same pen. It's mixed with PBC 157, which is amazing for inflammation, and then TB 100. So that's the way these three work together. It's a game changer for everyone. This is a beauty secret.
Okay.
To really change your genes from the inside out.
So if someone wanted to get peptides, which 3 peptides would you recommend?
So definitely the Glow, which is the 3 stack. And then the second one is Eptilon. And this one is, so people by the way, everyone talks about the glow peptide. Everyone's like, oh my God, this is amazing, because we're all superficial, right? We all want to look good.
Absolutely.
100%
I wanna look
amen,
good.
sister.
And you should look at the before and afters, by the way. They're insane. You know, people with acne, loose skin, hair loss, you name it, the glow peptide is phenomenal. But Epitolon is the next step of that. It's truly when, you know, because we're all made of chromosomes, okay? And our age, like, is measured by telomeres, like the length of the telomere. As we age, this telomere gets shorter and shorter, and we're aging, and then eventually we die when it's like disappeared. So what Epitolon does, it grows this telomere. So it's literally extending our lifespan. It's giving you better sleep. I get so excited talking about it, because I think what an exciting time to be alive, no?
Genuinely, I could listen to you for 75 hours.
Can you imagine?
If you had to recommend one more. Okay.
Motzi.
Motzi?
Motzi is also very good, because you know what it does? It speeds up your metabolism. It helps with building muscles, which is great. We all need this.
Wow.
Muscles
My
is
gym
amazing.
buddy.
Yeah, of course.
But I tell you something, what's very, 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 very important. Peptides are also very dangerous if done in the wrong way.
This is what I wanted to ask
And
about.
guys-
What could go wrong, or like
Guys, everyone, their mother and their father are selling peptides at the moment in the gym, in the supermarket, wherever. It's online. It's crazy. It's so dangerous. And you know what it says? Because, you know, there's only a handful of pharmacies got the DHA approval that these are okay to inject, and that they're healthy, and that the ingredients have the FDA approved, and they are put in the right environment. But they're so, and by the way, they are legit. You know, you get them from a doctor. They're legit. Your doctor will tell you the right dosage, will do the blood tests that are necessary to make sure that you can use them. But there's so many that are sold off the rack, and you won't. Actually, I have to tell you the story. I was having coffee, and I was telling one of my girlfriends, I was like, she was doing her eyebrow transplant. And I just did my eyebrow transplant, by the way. You guys know this.
Looks amazing.
we're gonna talk. We have questions about that too.
But when I did it, I had zero swelling, zero bruising, nothing, because I was on PBC. And PBC helps speed up your body's recovery. So I had no downtime. And I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, please make sure that you're on PBC before. So you basically, anyone who's doing any surgery, by the way, PBC is your best friend, because you'll have no downtime, no swelling, no bruising, all of the above. So I was telling her, please make sure that you're on it so that you'll heal faster, This guy next to me, he's like, oh, you were speaking about peptide. That's my topic. And I was like, okay, interesting. He's like, you know, I have the biggest peptide company in the UK. And I'm like, oh, tell me more. This guy keeps going on and on and on about peptides. He gives me a sample of retatrutide, which actually is not approved in anywhere in the world, actually. So that's the third generation of the GLP. So it's like the Ozempic, Mounjaro, and it's supposed to be the latest one it's supposed to be this magic peptide, okay? And I'm just like, okay, interesting. I asked him, are you on it? And he says, no, I'm not on any peptides. I don't like to inject myself. Imagine this is your product. Number one, big red flag. If you don't, right?
I would never trust someone that doesn't. It's like,
Why are you not using this?
Yeah.
Why are you not?
What's the catch?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was with his wife, and the wife was like, oh, no, I would never. And I'm like,
That's scary, because if I hadn't heard something like this, and maybe if someone had offered me these peptides and I had just listened to him and not done my research, I would have been victim to that.
100%. Because you're saving also so much money. Because so price-wise, there's a huge difference. Because of course, the ones where the testing has been done, where they're approved, where they're regulated, they're expensive. Like, it comes at a cost, right? When it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true.
That's so true.
Oh my God, that's actually so scary. I really want to take peptides.
I really want to try them, but I want to make sure that I'm trying it with the correct
1,000%.
Yeah.
Because I've heard so many people say, yeah, I'm on this peptide, I'm on this. And initially I thought, well, that's crazy. You're just injecting yourself at home with these things.
By yourself. Yeah.
No, crazy.
It's scary. And you know, one thing people keep asking, do I have to be, I think this is probably the most asked question, do I have to be on peptides for the rest of my life? The answer is no. So you do cycles, you do, depending on your doctor will tell you based on your goals, what's your test results. So you go on them you do cycles. Okay. So your body doesn't get used to it. You get the maximum effect. You stop it for a few months. You take it on it for. So that's why it's also so important, because you need someone to tell you the cycles, the dosage, how your body's reacting. Yeah. There's so many important things. That's why, if anything on this peptide, please don't take. if anything on this peptide, if anything on this podcast, don't buy peptides from like the
Randomly.
black market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be smart about what you're like. It's also you're injecting something into your body, so like you have to be so aware. Like that's not. It's just not like a topical cream that you're putting on top of yourself, which also is like be smart about what you put on your skin. But like when you're actually injecting something into your body, into your bloodstream, into like. That's just you have to be aware. So this is a really good sign. Like don't do something silly. Be like well informed and do it with the doctor and
don't
like,
cut corners. Don't cut corners.
Yeah, it's so true.
Absolutely, I think that's so important.
But it also sounds so exciting. It's basically aging backwards.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I genuinely feel our generation, we're not going to age. This is the final look.
No, it's so funny because if I look at photos of me like 10 years ago, I look younger now.
Me too.
How? Why?
aging gracefully.
We're aging backwards.
Imagine if I
baby.
start taking peptides.
Girl,
Gosh.
You know what shocks me every time is like old series. Like when I used to watch old movies or old series, you know, women in their 50s, they would have like short white hair and they would be in these like big grandma jumpers. And now you see 50-year-old women and they look hot as hell. They're like in their, you know, it's like times have changed so much that we are not aging the way we used to.
I agree.
What is one beauty trend that you think people will regret in 10 years?
Honestly, this is so complicated, but I think BBLs.
Yeah, I agree.
I find it so scary. You know, number one, BBLs, I think people don't understand the danger that it's the one thing that if they inject it into the wrong spot within seconds, it's game over. There's nobody saving you. And number two, people don't understand that gravity is such a big thing. So I've never seen anyone over a long period of time that it looks good. I feel like it always like goes down and then looks weird and people gain and lose weight. Unless you're working out all the time and you're consistent and make it a lifestyle, I've never seen one that looks good over a period of time.
I agree.
Yeah,
I've seen this girl that went on social media and she was giving her experience about reducing her BBL. And when she was showing pictures at the beginning, I was like, wow, she had the nicest BBL. Like she looked amazing. But when she showed it without clothes, that's when you could tell the difference. And then when she got it reduced, it looked so much better. Even though it's still kind of there.
Okay.
Like she still has that like
curves.
shape or whatever, but
It's more natural
it
looking.
looks a lot more natural. It looks like very effortless. Like I work
worked out for this.
Yeah, I worked out. You know,
This is the thing. I think if you do it and you work out, it stays.
Yes.
But gravity is a thing. And you know, our fat is uncontrollable. It goes everywhere. One more surgery that I think 1,000% people are going to regret in the future are these crazy cat eye lifts.
we wanted to ask you about
Guys,
that. Please tell us.
I'm so sorry. You know, I know people 21 years old. 21 years old, truly, you know, to get this look, which, look, by the way, this is a fantastic procedure. It's an amazing procedure at the right age. When you need it, you know, it's not a good procedure if you just want to look like
Snatched.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there's 1,000 things you can do at the right age to get, you know, to work with your skin quality, to work on this collagen stimulation, to tighten, lift, etc. You can do it with Botox, you can do it with Radius, you can do it with Photona 4D. You can do so many. There's endless things.
21 is a crazy age to be doing anything to your face.
Oh my God, it's so scary.
Let's talk about hair transplants. Okay, I feel like you just know everything about them. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that at Estee, you guys have the only robotic hair transplant machine in the Middle East.
Correct.
Right? I
You
do
did
remember
your
that. I
research,
do.
yes.
And then there's only like 5 in the whole world?
Yes.
Is it 5?
5 in the whole
Oh
world.
my God, I'm good at
Yes.
this. So tell us a little bit more about why the robotic one is so much better than having like just a normal one or flying to Turkey or whatever. I'm
So
curious.
it's, you know, I'm obsessed with hair at the moment. It's like literally because you don't really notice. Thank God I've been blessed with amazing hair, so I do minimal effort. I barely brush it, okay? So that's minimum.
Mashallah, you
but
literally
now-
look like a L'Oreal advert.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love this for you.
But now that I'm working in this industry and we have this technology, it is groundbreaking for people who have hair loss issues, which, by the way, with this Dubai water, with the environment, women who wear hijab, men who have stress, all of these factors that do impact hair loss. It's so amazing to be able to offer the solution. So with robotic DHI, the difference between that and normal FUE or FUT, it's the fact that, number one, you don't need to shave. Number two, the recovery is incredibly fast because there's no cutting involved. You know, it's basically when they take the hair from the donor area, because that's how hair transplant work, they take it from section A and put it in section B. Usually with the old procedure, when they take it from A, there may be some damage that this area does not 100% grow back. Which imagine, so you have to decide between, do you want hair here or do you want hair there?
No way, I didn't know that.
With this technology, we can guarantee 100% that the hair grows back. We just take the hair from the middle so the area is not damaged at all.
Okay.
And then secondly, once it's implemented into the, the area where we want to have the hair, it's like a fine needle. Instead of cutting, so the old procedure is you cut with a scalpel, a little tweezer, and they put the hair in. Okay? With this new way, this new technology, it's like a fine needle. The hair is already inside of the needle. And it's like PRF. So they just put it in the way that they want to put it with no cutting. We can determine the direction of the hair so we can get the most natural results. And we can implant 3 to 4 times more hair than any other hair transplant procedure.
That is incredible.
It's insane. And because it's such a fine needle, you don't need to shave. So for women, for men who love their hair and don't want to, be bald for the time that the hair is growing, we can get in between the existing hair follicles and just implant the new hair. It's honestly, it's groundbreaking. And we've actually broken the Guinness World Record so many times for most hairs implanted in a single surgery.
Yeah. No, that's actually incredible.
Yeah.
So I have something to ask. People think of hair transplants. They automatically think about a man. Do you see a lot of women come into the clinic?
Of course. We have so many women come to the clinic. So we have something called a designer hairline.
Okay.
And all women do it. All the celebrities that you probably know, they have done a hair transplant. By the way, beauty is one thing, but framing your face is so important. The way your hair is around you, and the hairline plays a huge part in this. We have a lot of women that come for hair transplant and eyebrow transplant. So you both know I did my eyebrow transplant, which
They look
honestly,
incredible.
game changer.
honestly, if anyone tells me the one procedure out of all the procedures that I've done that changed my life, it's my eyebrows.
I love
It makes
eyebrows.
such a difference. Your eyebrows really do change the way you look.
and it
Guys,
doesn't look
It looks
odd.
so
Like it,
natural.
like a transplant to me feels like it would
Yes.
look so extra. It looks like you
Absolutely.
just have mashallah perfect eyebrows.
And you know what? So by the way, this is why it's also so important to go to the right people, because we've all seen these videos with 3 weeks not done my eyebrows. They look like crazy.
Yeah. Oh my God, they're like this
Avatar
one.
AI eyebrows. This procedure, it's 100% natural. So the way Estee does it, nobody else on the world does it like this. Again, number one, there's no damage to their hair because usually they literally cut the skin, and it's like the most gruesome way of doing hair transplant. But we have a fantastic team. They basically take care of the donor area, and they implant hair by hair, deciding the exact direction of the way the hair is going to grow. Wow. So it's amazing.
I'd like you to talk more about this designer hairline, because I know there's women listening to this that will be so intrigued and interested in it.
Yeah, it's amazing. And by the way, it's not a long procedure. You do the hair transplant. You're in and out. It's 4 to 5 hours for the ladies because usually it's quite fast, and then it's 1 week maximum downtime. But in this 1 week, by the way, nobody's going to be able to tell that you've had anything done, and you just have the perfect hairline.
No, guys, if you see me suddenly with a different hairline, just mind your business.
But
Because
you know
it's
what?
game changing. Do you know what's really interesting as well? We actually saw you, I think, a few days after, or the next day after you got your eyebrow transplant.
Yeah, I was in Carbone the same evening.
Yeah.
Do you remember you seeing her? And then
and
she was
you
like, "Oh, I
did,
just
2
got
days
my
ago.
2 days ago. I got my eyebrow
Guys,
transplant." And I was like, "Pardon, where?"
Guys, the day of my surgery, and you guys know when it was hard to get Carbone bookings.
Yeah. You were like,
I
I'm
was
going
like,
to this booking.
I am going to this. There's nothing stopping me. And I went and I looked perfectly normal. Nobody
You looked so normal. Like you would never be able to tell.
Yeah. Truly, honestly, I find it such an easy procedure because with the right technology, which we have with the robotic DHI, it really enables us to make this like a easy peasy. You come in, you have a hair, and then you without hair, and you leave with hair. It's the best.
You know, you leave me speechless. Like, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're like the full package. I love you. I love you. Just did an episode on pretty privilege, and people loved that episode. Like, it was really, like, it did really well. And we talked a lot about investing in the way we look now so that later we don't have to deal with the consequences, right?
1,000%.
So I think that this is like perfectly on brand of like, not everyone is born conventionally pretty, but you need to invest in your looks.
Yeah.
You know what I always say? I would rather, if I could have a crocodile Birkin or crocodile skin, I would rather take that money and invest it on my skin and wear like a Primark bag than
true.
have crocodile skin.
It's so true.
You know?
A bag is a bag. It's
bag
going to
is-
fit the same amount of things in there, and you're
And-
investing in yourself.
And I'm sorry, I of course, if I had the choice, I would rather have both. You know, I would
Yeah,
have
of
the
course.
croc and
With
the perfect skin.
That's fine.
But if I had to choose,
Yeah.
investing in your skin, that you only get one skin. And that's
Absolutely.
it. Look, I think beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? What you find beautiful, what I find beautiful is different. And you know what I always say to people, like when they come in, they're like, oh my God, this one spot is ruining my life. I'm just, imagine the prettiest person you know. Imagine, like, who's your celebrity crush, girl crush, whatever. Imagine they had the same spot. Would that make them 1% less pretty?
That's a really good example.
No, it wouldn't.
so-
You wouldn't
that's a
even
good way
notice
to
it.
think
You'd just be
about
like,
it.
no, they're still hot as shit.
Yeah,
and that's
and you're
it.
like, she just has a little spot.
Yeah,
You've got a
that's
little spot.
crazy.
and you wouldn't even notice it. You
So
wouldn't
true.
even, you know. So does it take away from their beauty, the way you see them, any of the? No. Why are we? We're our harshest critics. Like it's crazy.
And it's because we're constantly looking at ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm always looking at my own face, but like I also read this thing that because you look at yourself so often, you don't realize how beautiful.
You don't realize that you got a booty.
You don't realize that you're beautiful.
You don't realize how beautiful you are to someone who's never seen your
1,000%.
features before.
It's so true.
You don't. I'm gonna say that
Because we
one more time.
weren't made to look at ourselves this much.
Yeah. We're constantly looking at ourselves and like someone will look at your features and be like, wow, that's the most beautiful set of features I've ever seen. But you wouldn't think
1,000%,
that because you
yeah.
always look at yourself.
You know, I'll tell you something funny. My little sister, she was in, I think in like year 4 or year 5, she came in from school and she was like, you know, my teacher told me that I see myself 10 times worse than you guys see me. And I was like, yeah, that's true. It's because you're, you know, harsh on yourself, etc. And she was like, well, I think I'm beautiful. So you guys must think I'm a supermodel. And it's just so interesting. And like, what age does that kick in? When do we start being so harsh on ourselves?
It's so true.
When
but
does that kick in?
Because I also watched something a little bit similar, and it was basically about girls, and they were like running, and they said something to these kids like, run like a girl. And she was like, I don't know what that means, but like she ran like super fast. And then they said to the boys like, run like a girl.
Yes.
And the boys like started to run strange. And it was interesting to see like, well, why is it that you think that girls can't run as fast as boys? And at what age is that triggered into your mindset? And then what age do girls start believing that they're not as good as doing something as a boy?
Yeah, it's
And I thought
crazy.
it was such an interesting concept.
Because when you're young, you don't care. Like when you're 4, 5 years old, you just think, you know, you just go. When do you start going? Oh my God, I have one dodgy eyebrow. Or when does that happen?
And
The world
especially in
somehow
this world
convinces you.
now, like growing up with social media, I can't imagine what the next generation is going to be like. Because luckily enough, I didn't grow up with social media.
Yes.
It like started when I was in like secondary school, but in secondary school, I still had phone that had no internet. Unfortunately, kids are growing up with social media and there's already a high expectation of what they should look like or what they should dress like and all of this stuff. So it's a lot of pressure. But I'm glad to see that the trend is like becoming more natural.
Yes.
I
And
agree.
like caring more about what actually benefits your body rather than what you look like.
We wanted to play a little game with you.
Yes.
Okay. I feel like you answered most of these, but let's
Okay.
just see. It's in or out. You just have to say in or out, okay?
Okay.
Fox eye lift,
Out.
lip filler.
Oh no. This is the only filler that I love. In.
Right? Yeah. Veneers.
In.
She's like, girl, look at me.
I need them too.
Only at the right age and if you need them.
And if you need them, skinny
Yes.
brows.
If they suit your face, but for me, it's with the eyebrow transfer. It's
I
a no.
love a thick brow.
Yeah.
Fluffy, thick brows with like a brow lamination. Amazing.
Do you want to know a fun fact?
Yeah.
Who started the thick brow trend?
Who?
Can you guess? Because you know it was all about the thin brows.
It was always about thin brows.
Was it Cara Delevingne?
It was.
It was Cara Delevingne.
It was
yeah.
Cara Delevingne. And you know, so when Cara Delevingne came on the scene, they actually call it the Cara effect. This is in the whole industry, in the beauty industry. And this is from like product to cosmetic to all of the above. There weren't even eyebrow products because everyone wanted skinny brows.
Wow.
And then when she came on the scene, eyebrow product sales increased by 500%.
Oof.
And
Oh,
everyone
Cara
started
girl.
doing brows. Everyone started doing...
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cara, because I always had thick
Yes.
brows. Now they're thin. I've actually made them thin.
Are they thin?
Yeah, my brows are like really thick.
Why don't you grow them out? Or have you tweezed them so
no.
much that they won't
They
grow?
they don't suit my face shape.
I think you would look so good with fluffy brows.
No, it actually like made my face look more droopy. Okay, what about Russian lips?
Oh, with the right person, I love Russian lips because, you know, they're all about flat, no volume, just love it.
Yeah.
But it has to be the right technique because, again, this is one of the things that looks amazing for like the first week and then has the possibility to look super bad.
And then the last one is freckles tattooing.
Tattooing.
You didn't know this? I also just learned about this, by the way.
I spoke about
yesterday.
her. Yesterday I spoke to you about it.
People
I
are
mean,
tattooing freckles. Have you not seen it? But the thing is,
the henna one.
The tattoo artists specialize in freckle tattoos. So they'll make each freckle like different colors, like some are darker brown, some are lighter brown, different shapes, different sizes, depending on the person's features and face.
Oh my God, this is giving me anxiety.
But I love it. I'm actually here for it. Nadia thinks I'm crazy, but I am like...
Okay, but if you know the history of, for someone who's done semi-permanent eyebrow for like the longest time, because I never had eyebrows, but eyebrow tattoos, or any tattoos on your face, they change color.
Yeah.
Because we basically have oily skin, and basically the oil pushes out the pigment. And okay, it might look amazing the first week, the second week, the first month, but then it has the possibility to change color all the time, grow different shapes, and I'm just not here for it. No.
If you could give one piece of beauty advice that has nothing to do with surgery or treatments, what would it be?
Probably self-love. Honestly, I think we touched base on this earlier, but honestly, when you feel good, when you love yourself, there's nothing you can, do that will make you feel better than that. And it really shows on the outside. I think it's just something that it takes a lot of work. And I think that, by the way, takes the most work, because, we live in the city with the most beautiful people in the world.
Absolutely.
Yes, we do.
Like, really, everyone here is beautiful, and everyone in their own way, right? But the people who, there's people that are always chasing these new beauty standards and wanting to be, doing 50,000 procedures, and they're not happy.
Yeah.
And realistically, it's all about being happy within your own skin.
Absolutely.
And I really feel that work kind of has to come from the inside. And, nowadays, like, I'm so careful the way I speak to myself. I love myself. Why am I so hard on myself? Why am I over and psychoanalyzing every detail about myself? And I think once you start making that a habit and like speaking to yourself nicer, loving everything, even imperfections, by the way, our imperfections make us beautiful and make us special.
Yeah.
You don't get this this overly done look sometimes, etc. And I think that's what makes you the most beautiful.
I second that. Like, I always say, my body is a temple, and
Yeah.
I only have this one temple. Like, that's it. I've been given this and granted this like vessel. Let me like take care of it the best that I can.
1,000%. I wake up every morning, and this is something I've been practicing subconsciously, by the way, before I knew what gratefulness was, what gratitude was, etc. But I wake up every morning and I just think, oh my God. By the way, I'm a freak. I wake up super happy every morning.
I love that.
I'm a psycho.
No,
so
I
I
love
wake up
that.
super happy, but I just think, oh my God, I have 10 fingers. Like, how amazing is
It's
that?
so true.
Alhamdulillah.
SubhanAllah, you just don't think about these things.
I
and take
can
for
stand.
granted.
I can stand up, and there's so many people. They don't have 10 fingers. They can't see.
Yeah.
They can't get up by themselves out of their bed. We have so many
Exactly.
blessings, and I try to practice every day. I don't want to be grateful for something once it's gone, and I've taken it for granted while I've had it.
Yes.
So that's why I'm really so grateful for so many things, and I think when you feel that, you just appreciate everything about yourself, about the people around you. And and I'm so happy to even have you guys. Like, I'm so grateful.
Mate, as you were speaking, honestly, I was just looking at you thinking, I'm so glad we got to sit down with you today, because for one, I learned so much. For two, you are honestly just like mind-blowing how intelligent you are in that
thank you
lovely
so
little
much.
brain of yours. You're just such a beautiful person to have in our life. Like, you're just
Yeah.
honestly
love
like a bundle of joy.
Really.
Thank you. I
Like,
really love you guys. Honestly,
you are
like,
the spark. I mean, you said this to me once. Do you
Yes.
remember? We were like sitting and talking in the car, and you're like, I'm never gonna let someone I'm never gonna let someone make me lose my spark. Like, I am the spark.
We are the magic.
Yeah,
It's
it
so
was
true.
magic.
We are the magic.
magic.
We are
So
the
true.
magic.
Yeah, we are.
Which, by the
the
way, is
magic.
dangerous, but we are the magic.
No, we are so.
Because
the
then
magic.
we can make, you can make the wrong person feel special, and that's not good.
Absolutely.
Oh, we need to part 2 of this then.
This
No,
is
stop.
the
We
part.
need to do a part 2.
Honestly, Wallah, this was such a blessing
I love
to
you
have you here.
guys.
Like, we love you as a friend, but we also love you as someone that's so well educated on the things that you do, and then you can educate like people on the podcast, people that are listening to this. And I just took so much away from this, and I'm like ready to just be the most beautiful version of myself, which
You
I already
are
felt,
already
but like
are.
Yeah,
just
it's
to
true.
elevate that,
I'm like
It's so
leaving
important.
here extra positive.
Yeah,
Good.
Everyone needs a Maes in their life.
Love you guys.
Genuinely. Thank you guys so much for joining.
Nadia can't speak today, so
Can
I
you
will
speak?
take over. Thank you guys so much for joining us at the Coffee Club, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Woo!